Hi, everybody. Welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada. And you can find me online at stampingwithmelva.com. It's Sunday. It's 12 noon here on the West Coast, and I'm here with a live for you. I missed being with you yesterday, coming on live, although we had such fun on our virtual launch. I hope if you joined us, you had fun too. If you weren't able to join us or you don't live in Canada, I'm sorry you missed it, but yeah, we had a great time. There's still time if you live in Canada and you're interested to put an order in. Orders over $65 will get some of the new ombre matte dots as a thank you gift. So if you live in Canada and you don't have a demonstrator and you're interested in putting an order in, you can find your way to my online store. All right, everybody, I'm going to make a Father's Day card because Father's Day is coming up in June. And so I think it's time to actually make a Father's Day card. I'm going to keep it kind of simple. I'm using the He's All That stamp set. I'm going to keep it pretty simple. But I'm going to use a technique that as I was sitting here trying to figure out how I was going to convert what is a birthday card, a birthday stamp in He's All That to a Father's Day, I realized I could color my rubber stamps using the Stampin' Write markers, which we talked about yesterday on the virtual launch. And I don't know why I forget about this technique all the time, but that's what I'm going to do. All right. Hey, Johanna, Catherine, Darlene, Betty, and Polly, welcome. All right, let me switch over to this. So this is the He's All That stamp set. So it was carried over into the new catalog. There are dies with this, but I'm going to just keep it pretty simple and just do some stamping. We don't have the designer series paper that came with this suite. It retired, but I thought I'd pull out and use one of the new in colors called Copper Clay. So this is a new Copper Clay in color. It's not quite as kind of ready, not quite as red as, say, Cajun Craze, but is a little reddier than, say, soft suede. So I've got a piece of cardstock, and then this is the designer series paper. So there is new designer series paper in all of the color families, plus the in colors for both of the years that we have going. And it's really pretty. So little kind of stripes, crosshatcher stripes, I guess, and then hearts on the other side. I'm going to use this one. Okay, let's get started. So my card base is 4 1/4 by 11, and I'm going to score it at 5 1/2. And as always, we'll fold into the mountain or the raised line. Oh, I know the new in colors are so amazing. So are all the new color refresh. I was saying, I think yesterday, I have already gone through one package of Misty Moonlight. So I'm going to use this side, and I didn't cut this in advance. So these are 6 by 6. So I'm going to cut this to be 4 inches by 5 1/4. And then, as always, I save this little bit that comes off the bottom because it's 3/4 of an inch by 4, and it's perfect for the inside of the card. So we're just going to take and adhere this. I just love this Copper Clay. And I think I'm going to add, I was going to do it all in Copper Clay, but I think I'm going to add some of the boho blue because I just really love that color combination. So boho blue is another one of the in colors. Okay, so there's our first layer on our card base. Hey, Nancy, welcome. Okay, so I have got, so this is my boho blue. I cut this 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. And then I have a piece that I cut 3 inches by 3 inches that I'm going to put my sentiment on, or my image. So I'm using this one that says, well, it actually says happy birthday to a classic, but I'm going to color and I'm going to leave off the happy birthday. So I'm just going to color this car using, so I use the brush end of the marker, get them all. And then I'm going to use the brush end to do the lettering on the bottom. And then you take and you huff just to kind of keep that moisture. So let's see if I can get this straight-ish, hopefully. Oh, it's not very straight, but it'll do. So there we go. So I've got to a classic. I might want to do that again. It's not very straight, and I should have, I guess, looked to see. I'm going to redo this on the other side because it's not very straight. I will in a minute show you there is a difference between our new markers and the old markers. And I just want to show you that difference. But first, let me restamp my car on the back just because it will bother me when it's not straight. We'll see if I get it any straighter this time around. Okay, use your grid lines, Melva, and see if all right. Oh, much better, much straighter. There we go. So isn't that cool? Now you can mix and match all sorts of things. Now, differences in the markers. So first of all, the markers are the same length as, so this early espresso is the old marker from before. So the caps are shorter. And let's see, let's show you. The brush ends are more or less the same. They are, they don't have the color anymore. So you may be not able to see that, but this one is early espresso, but now they're black. So they are, this is shorter. And the brush has been improved slightly, but the main difference is in the other end, in the fine tip end. So the fine tip on our previous ones are more like a gel marker, whereas these are more of a bullet tip, which I'm really looking forward to because I often find that the ends on the old markers, I don't know that they dry out, but they seem to not kind of color very well, whereas this just gives you definitely a different feel. You can see that bothers me when it kind of goes light and dark on it. So I'm really looking forward to these new bullet ends on the new markers. So there are some differences in the markers. Now, I did grab a piece. So I'm going to take, this is the stamp that says, wishing you a happy Father's Day. So I'm going to do the whole thing in boho blue. And you take and huff on it. Just to kind of, and now I've got this. Now, just because you know me and I can't help but cut my sentiments. So I'm going to just take, and we will just cut this. This was one of the, I won't say it was one of the first techniques I learned when I was learning to stamp but when I first started going to and finding out about Stampin' Up, one of the first things I did was a color marker club. And every month we got a new set of markers in one of the color families. And so long before I had, every possible color of ink pad, I had all of the markers. And there were only rubber stamps then. Stampin' Up didn't have the photopolymer. I do find that this technique seems to work better, at least for me, on the rubber stamps. But yeah, so I was able to stamp in any color I wanted to at the end of 5 months. And I had all of the markers in every possible color. So I didn't actually start buying ink pads. I only was buying the ink pads that I was using a lot of. So it's a great way to kind of get colors All right, so I'm going to say, put that on top like that, and then I've got the wishing you a happy Father's Day, and I've popped that up. And then I'm going to, I wish I'd kind of put it in the middle, but that's okay. And I've got a little bit of my dimensional showing, so I'll just kind of pop that underneath there. There we go. All right, now we can take some glue. These are cling stamps, Nancy. Where I find they don't work as well, you can still get them to work, is on the photopolymer stamps, but this is a cling stamp and it works well. That's what I mean by the rubber stamps. Okay. I think I'm going to pop this up. So I'm going to see a play this afternoon. I'm kind of excited. My husband's not going to come with me. He's going to stay home with the puppy dog, who some of you will know had her left eye out on Thursday. She had a corneal ulcer, and her left eye suddenly worsened very quickly, and so we ended up having to have emergency surgery done. All right, so I'm not going to tie a bow, because I don't know, that doesn't seem very masculine, but I'm going to tie a faux bow. So I'm just going to kind of wrap this around, and then I'm going to take and use some Stampin' Seal. I'm going to adhere it more or less butting up against each other, and then I will tie a faux bow. That seems a little more masculine than a bow. That probably should have used boho blue ribbon, but I didn't think of that. Okay, now let's put some more Stampin' Seal there. We'll just kind of butt this up against each other. Hopefully it lined up. There we go. This ribbon, this is the textured ribbon in the In Colors. I do find it frays a little bit. And then I'm going to take and tuck this underneath. How are we going to do this? Tuck that underneath like that, so it's underneath the seam. And tie a bow, or tie a knot. I'm just a single knot here. Try not to have my seam come undone. There we go. I think I need some more adhesive under here. So I'm going to use a glue dot underneath my ribbon to hold it in place. Like that. There we go. There we go. That'll hold it in place. And then I like to, because I find this ribbon frays, when you pull on the ends, I tend to give myself a little bit extra and then trim it. And try not to pull on it unless you like the frayed look, which I didn't really want. All right, and now I've got, these are the In Color dots. And I think I'm going to use, well, I was going to use boho blue, but I actually have changed my mind. I think I'm going to use the copper clay like that. I just like the pop of boho blue on there. And then one last thing is that piece of copper clay that I cut off. So I always saved this little bit for the inside of the card. So we're just going to put this on the bottom. And if you wanted to, you could stamp something on the inside, but and hopefully get that. There we go. All right. Well, I didn't get that on very straight. That's the nice part about liquid glue. It shifts. You can shift it. It gives you a little bit of wiggle room, but I do have some adhesive. Ah, guess what? Some of you heard that I lost my little medium-sized daisy die. And when I reached in, it was stuck to my my silicone mat. Yay! I've been hunting high and low. I've been through all the recycling, and funny how where you find things. All right, there we go. There is a Father's Day card. Oh, I'm so excited about that die. I was thinking I was going to have to buy a new set of dies. All right, I got a little hair there that's driving me crazy or something. I'm going to have to try and get that off. Okay, there we go. So don't forget about this technique where you color using the Stampin' Write markers. It does not work, I will say, with the blends. The blends are alcohol-based and it dries way too quickly. Hey, Chris, welcome. So I find it works best on the cling mount or the rubber, the red stamps, and I find it definitely works better with the Stampin' Write markers and not the Stampin' Blends. But it's a great way if you don't want to purchase all of the ink pads. You can buy the Stampin' Write markers. You can get them in the color families, and there is also one package of all of the new colors for the color refresh. Which makes it very nice to be able to add all of those marker colors to your collection. All right, everybody, thanks so much for joining you. I will be back on Tuesday night with my sketch challenge. And for those of you that join me on my card class on Monday nights at 7 o'clock, I will be live on Zoom with a card for you. It's a fancy fold card. So hopefully you'll join me tomorrow night at 7 through Zoom. And if not, we'll see you on Tuesday night at 6:30 Pacific for my sketch challenge. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. Happy stamping. Bye.